This time on Roadkill, we flew all the way to Pittsburgh to visit our buddy Jeff Lutz, buy this Monza, and cram 5 leaf blowers under the hatch.
What a dumbass idea that was. Let's go. We're going land speed racing, and we need a car to do that, but we're not going to shop Craigslist this time. We're heading to Steeltown Motors in Youngstown, Ohio, where they've got a bunch of muscle cars for us to check out. Figures we finally get to the East Coast and it's raining the day we get here.
They have good stuff for cheap, though.
Well, they have cheap stuff. I don't know how good it is.
It's good enough for us.
This must be Matt.
Matt, nice to meet you, buddy.
Good to meet you.
I'm Freiberger.
Nice to meet you, Freiberger. I got the 78 Monza for sale. It's got the original small block in it, original 4-speed, or the V8. It was actually built here in Lordstown, 5 miles away.
Does it do good burnouts?
Yeah, real good.
That's critical.
Has it got a posi?
Yes.
Really? Does good donuts then.
4-speed
it'll do
and
donuts.
posi.
It's cool. Yeah, check it out. 4-speed's unique.
This won't work at all. It's got 2 seat belts.
Oh, yeah.
We never
Can't
had 2
have
seat belts.
Dude, this is way too good for us.
Yeah, this already works. What do you want for this?
I'd take $3 grand for it.
3 grand? I like this. What's the story with the Mustang?
This is a 73 Mustang 351. It's a 4-speed car also.
That's
How
cool.
much is this one?
You'd probably sell it for around 15.
All right, next car. Oh my goodness.
That is cool. Look at the bass boat deal. I love it. Side pipes are genius.
Wow.
Oh, and it's a roadster. Wow. What year is it?
69.
I went to my high school prom in one of these. Didn't get laid, but it was still fun. Should I even ask how much this is?
15, 16 grand.
Okay,
Wow.
what's
let's,
next?
Let's get this. No, what are you thinking?
This one's even more rare. It's a 69 original Trans Am.
Wait,
It's a
this
real
is
Trans Am?
It's a real Trans Am. One of 600.
698.
Van Halen jumped with David Lee Roth.
So you want this one, that's what you're saying. I'm not asking, we can't afford this at all.
No.
I think the Monza is the winner then.
Yeah. I like the Monza, though.
Yeah.
The Monza's as good as this if you squint.
So let's test drive the Monza.
Okay. Kiss your tires goodbye. Did I say that out loud?
Yes, you did. I don't think there's a return spring on the throttle. Wow,
Try putting
that
it in
clutch,
gear.
No, I am in gear. The clutch comes all the way out before it engages. Look at that. All right.
That means
Still
it's
hasn't engaged.
shot.
Still hasn't engaged.
Wow.
There we go. We may need a clutch. Dude. Oh, dude, she spins good.
In the rain. This is way too good for us.
It's very sticky though. Like,
Well, yeah, there's literal mold on stuff. Look at the interiors falling apart a little bit. This thing's bitching.
I like this. This is easily the coolest selling car we've had on Roadkill before.
$6 grand! Dude, this thing is money! I want to drive.
Yeah, you want to barely pull over? You drive it.
Seatbelts don't retract.
Why are you swerving? Why are you swerving? All right, let's go buy this thing.
We have to buy it now because we almost destroyed your tires and almost guardrailed that side of it.
It's like that on dry pavement too. Car's fun.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, well, let's.
All right,
Come on
pony
in.
up.
I have money. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you very much.
That means we can do donuts now.
What are you doing?
Dead battery or neutral safety switch or something.
You notice this happened right after we gave him
Did
the
that
cash.
price come with a battery or no?
You gotta be kidding me.
You know what? It hasn't been either 5 minutes or 50 feet.
Terminal's
Oh, there you
completely
go.
off.
Check that out. Is this a sign of what's to come?
No.
Bye. I've been wanting to do a Monza land speed car for a while because these are actually pretty aerodynamic. I know some guys at El Mirage and Bonneville who run these things that are really fast, and this one won't be, but it's good.
That's a graceful exit.
We still had a couple days until we had to race at the Ohio Mile, so we decided to run over to Pennsylvania and visit our buddy Jeff Lutz, who has a race shop and a chassis dyno, so that we could find out how much power we were gonna make.
I think you can go right in the door.
Oh, nice.
We're here to class the joint up for you.
How you doing?
What's happening?
Nice car, buddy. Nice. This is it, huh?
It's actually not that bad.
Man, that is a clean looking
at
car. Yeah. Little Bondo on the hood.
Meanwhile, this is far more important over here.
We just built that. Gear vendor, Rossler,
Spread port heads, huh? Does this make like 2,500?
about 35.
35.
Oh yeah, easily.
Jeff Lutz is a hot rod drag week veteran, and his shop, Lutz Race Cars, routinely builds hot rods that have more than 2,500 horsepower. Lutz's son, Jeffrey, is building an '89 Honda Civic, rear-wheel drive, and has a twin-turboed small block under the hood. Jeff's other ride is a legit pro mod car, a yellow Camaro that packs almost 4,000 horsepower under the hood and runs deep into 5-second territory. Want to trade?
We make a good deal.
No.
Should we put it on the dyno?
Absolutely. Let's get
See
a
how
baseline.
bad it is?
You should take it for a spin. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I got to turn it around anyways.
Yeah,
go for it.
How do I get the feeling he's done this 100 times?
Yep.
Second gear, go. Made 144 to the wheels.
And 215 pound-feet, but you saw 15 to 1.
It was over 14 and it climbed all the way to 15.
Well, that explains the misfire. It's got a burn spark plug wire, it runs way too lean, and it has a ton of blow-by. We can't do anything about the blow-by, but we're gonna see if we can tune it up a little bit and make it run right and get a real number. We took the Quadrajet off the Monza. We borrowed a Carb Shop 650 double pumper here. Up, stop. This thing has a hydraulic flat tab cam in it, and you're supposed to have about a quarter turn of preload on the push rod, and it had none. They were just sort of dangling in the breeze. This thing only has a 305 in it, but 144 horsepower to the wheel sucked. We also gutted the interior, found some drug paraphernalia, and spray painted the hood with some help from Lutz's son Jeffrey. And then it was time to hit the dyno once again.
He's a beast. 193 to the wheels with a 305 that smokes like a banshee.
Perfect. Yeah. Dude, we picked up like 49 rear wheel horsepower
This is like a whole new car.
with no timing light and no jets. It made 193 to the wheels and 231 for torque. We need 200.
I know how we can get 200.
Morning.
We brought the horsepower. 700 CFM.
Each.
Wow.
And there's,
We got 4.
oh, we got one more.
Oh no, we got 5.
5.
We bought every one they had.
Wow.
$1,600 worth of horsepower right there. 2 years ago, I saw some guys on YouTube supercharging a Chevy S10 with a leaf blower. And I thought, well, if one leaf blower is good, then 2's better. So I bought 2, and we supercharged a small block in a Corvette and actually made horsepower. So I figure 5's gonna be even better, right? We should be able to make 4 or 5 pounds of boost and maybe 270 to the wheels of our little Monza here.
We know this is going to work from past experience, but we're dying to do something. So we're gonna rig 2 of them here on the table, wire them together right like that with some duct tape, which is gonna be brilliant, and test the theory. There we go. Yeah.
when we hit it, it didn't do the when it took off. So do you want to mock up PVC for more, or just go right to let's install all 5 in the trunk?
Might as well get them in the trunk.
I'm all in on this deal. Let's just put them all in.
Let's just do it. It's not like it's not gonna work. Our goal yesterday was to make 200 horsepower to the tire. We just did it. We took out the rear seat so that we'll have room for 5 blowers here staggered. We're gonna go 3 and then 2, make brackets to hold them down, and we are gonna have to make a firewall between the blowers and the passenger compartment because there's gasoline in them, so it's like a fuel cell. And then we're gonna have to make a discharge tube that connects all of those blowers together and runs up the middle of the car and somehow gets through the firewall to connect to the carburetor hat.
Fire, big fire.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, it's the installation.
Sparks caught his flame proofing on fire because his flame proofing was cardboard. And
Pizza box.
Then the cardboard caught the carpet on fire.
You want to stand by with the fire extinguisher?
It is truly the first time on Roadkill we've used a fire extinguisher. We have needed one, but this is the first actual use. Looking good.
Hey, you got your extinguisher?
Yeah.
Ah, sorry.
Sorry about that. You okay?
That doesn't taste good.
Is it in your eye?
It's in my mouth.
Oh, it tastes nasty just floating around. What is it?
All right, you got me back for the snowball, all right?
I did not do it on purpose. While Finnegan and I were trying to burn the shop down, Lutz fabricated the whole discharge tubes for the blowers. Finally, we were getting closer to finding out what these blowers were gonna do. We're running 3 leaf blowers right now. So this is the moment to find out if this is all gonna make it. We're worried that all of this tubing might actually reduce the flow to the point that it's only gonna run as well as it did with the 2 when we tested them up here. Y'all got your choke off?
I can feel something happening in here. And it's good.
Yeah! Here we go.
Moving it.
Nope. It made 197, but all the fluids are cold. The oil, the transmission, the rear end, so we're hoping that's where our 5 horsepower went.
I was down 1 leaf blower.
So that one's junk?
Well, we're gonna dissect it.
Oh yeah, hashed. For some reason, all these superchargers are just not making the power. But finally, Lutz figured out the problem. We tried to fire up all 3 of these leaf blowers at the same time, and we would get 2 of them running, and they would make so much pressure in the pipe that they would actually be motoring the 3rd one backwards. And so not only does that mean that that motor is not making boost, it also means it's a boost leak because the pressure's coming out through it. Here's what we did. This valve right here is a ball valve, which right now is completely open. So we can fire up all of the motors and it'll just blow all of the boost out that hole. We're gonna then rev the engine up to about 3,500 RPM when the engine's consuming some air and slam that shut, at which point all the boost will go to the engine, but it'll be able to take it at that point because the engine's consuming air. On our last pass of the day, even with the blow-off valve, we managed to bring the torque up quite a bit, but the horsepower remained the same. At this point, there was only one answer: more boost. It's Friday and we planned to drive away to go to Ohio to the races today, but we showed up this morning and Lutz has this buddy who had a perfectly good 350 Chevy and he was sick of the 305 smoking and puking oil all over the floor, so they got the motor half out before we even got here. So I guess we're doing an engine swap because we weren't far enough behind.
We're finishing up the installation of blower number 4, blower number 5. Right now, I'm welding together an exhaust system using the stock mufflers, so we can vent it through the bottom of the car so we don't suffocate.
Which is new for us.
Blowers 1 and 2 through one pipe, and blowers 3, 4, and 5 through another pipe. And if you notice, we have cross flow happening here. They're exiting at an angle. So That's gonna scavenge one side from the other. We're boosting our power here.
Ah, the look of horsepower. All our 5 leaf blowers work. Now if we had an engine, we'd be somebody.
A serious boost.
I don't know if it's serious boost, it's serious wind.
Wind, anyways, yes.
It blows about like a F3 Pro Charger at idle.
It blows.
It blows. Timing. This is going to be first fire on our new 350 small block. It clearly needs a little bit more ignition advance. We've got it running well enough to make a back-to-back comparison between the 350 and the 305. And the bigger motor, naturally aspirated, made the best power that we'd seen yet. 207 horsepower to the wheels. We're where we were at with the leaf blowers on the 305.
Coming through this pipe right now.
The internet says this doesn't work. Go check. You can find out.
Oh my God, dude. 284 pound-feet of torque.
We've owned this Monza for 3 days. We spent 1 day doing ridiculous burnouts in the rain and 2 days wrenching, dyno testing, and thrashing on this thing. And finally, we're on our way to race it at the Ohio Mile in Wilmington. It is 8:15.
What time are we supposed to be there?
Now. And
we're right on time.
4 hours to go.
The gauge says 55, but I think we're going 67 or 7.
We're going 72.
The gauge is way off. The fact that we have a gauge of any sort is amazing. I think it's got a driveline vibration, the engine's shaking because it's running too fat, and the tires are out of balance.
So it's fine.
So when you combo that all together, we're kind of doing the Cabbage Patch as we go down the road right now.
The whole point of this episode was to come here to the Ohio Mile, which is in Wilmington, Ohio at the Air Park, and it's an event run by the East Coast Timing Association. Cars start from a standstill and they accelerate all the way through the mile, and at the end there is a 132-foot timing trap with a beam here and a beam here 132 feet apart, and the mile-an-hour number that you get is your average across that distance. One of the cool things at these events is you see all kinds of cars. There's tons of street rods, there's streamliners, there's roadsters, there's late model cars, and there's a Monza with 5 leaf blowers on it. We're dying to make passes, but we had to go through the registration process, which involved tech inspection.
Now, the duct tape actually holds it?
They passed us through tech, although there's some things that we need to do, just little stuff, zip tying here and there, that they want us to pull the radio out of the dash. They don't want the radio flying at us. The class we're gonna run is C, which is the engine designation, and then we're gonna run blown, because clearly we're supercharged, and gas, and we're gonna run in altered as our body class. What we're gonna do is tape this all off, and it actually makes the car more aerodynamic. They had a record number of cars here, and the line was huge. But the good news about it is that the Monza was clearly the biggest freak show in the whole place. People could not stop checking out our genius supercharger installation.
I feel great. 5 leaf blowers in the trunk, and I've never done this before. What could go wrong?
38.46. Not bad for an utter pile of garbage.
Yeah! Best day of work ever, right here. Holy crap.
That's awesome. And they're yelling at him, they're gonna throw him out because he broke out of his license.
Didn't I say like 125 plus or minus 5? Isn't that kind of what I said?
Never heard the plus
That
or
what
minus.
well, plus or minus, yeah, the plus or minus is a little confusing.
Can I ask
know
for
it's tough.
leniency
Plus
on-
or minus, it's a complicated task.
Finnegan had to get yelled at by my buddy Keith Turk, who runs the East Coast Timing Association, because Finnegan was only supposed to run 125 miles an hour on his rookie path.
130! We're gonna get a license, baby! 135!
The next time Finnegan ran, he actually went 125 miles an hour to get his license, and then we moved on back to testing. We came back the next day and it was raining. We knew we weren't going to get a whole lot of runs in, so this was not going to be science. But we did stab Finnegan in the car without the leaf blowers running, and he went 137.15 miles an hour. And then we put Jeff Lutz in the car, and he bang shifted the Monza and ran 139.84. So we picked up 2.5 miles an hour with the leaf blowers. Was that worth $1,600? No. I'll say it, we proved that leaf blowers work, on the chassis dyno anyway. We saw these things pick up 20 horsepower at the wheels, and a little bit more than that in torque. It's all about the airflow, it works. But in the standing mile, we only saw maybe 1 mile an hour, 2 mile an hour gain, and that's because we spent so much time at high RPM where the leaf blowers are less efficient, because they can't move as much air as the engine is consuming. But in the end, we've got one thing to show for this, and that is the only Monza on Earth that you can use for drying the track. On this episode of Roadkill, we flew to Pittsburgh because we were tired of sun, and we bought this Monza, and we stuffed 5 leaf blowers in it at our Why don't you do one? Boosted.
On this episode of Roadkill, we prove the internet is right. Leaf blowers don't make boost.
I don't think you want to give that away.
Oh, no?
Do you? Why would you watch the rest of the show?
On this episode of Roadkill, we stick 5 leaf blowers in a Monza for no good reason.